Hi. Those of you who subscribe to Dimitri Halley will perhaps already have watched this video, but I'm going to give you a link to his latest, which is Touching the Shadow, an illustration. He does a lot in 10 minutes. I think this might be one of the most challenging topics for the light beings, considering the kind of programming and how much of it we've received concerning what's dark or bad or evil and how to behave, and all of the little boxes that we've been put in and padlocked up tight into. A lot of us haven't yet worked our way out of most of this, and so the darkness becomes a challenge. I mean, the first thing is we tend to fear it. Well, we've been taught to. You know, we've been taught that it's overpowering and we're small and, you know, inconsequential. And the devil's a big bad guy, you know, and has hordes of demons, and, you know, it's been made into something blown way out of proportion. And so by accepting our own native divinity, eventually all your fear will go if you'll just accept that one belief that you are divine, that you are an emanation of source. I love the way Nancy Dennison calls us a source beam. You know, you're a beam of light sent from the heart of source or God. So that goes a long way toward helping us master the fears. So if we don't fear it, there's a good number of us that have lost the better part of our fear, but we don't want to be told that we have a dark side. The dark is made to be something out there, and we've got to be perfect and pure and lily white, and that's the only way we're making it into heaven. Now, look at all of that and see the programming that's in it. See the manipulation, the mind control, and, oh, I lost my thought. I've been having a bit of brain fog lately. It's amazing the way it can sometimes be hard to string your thoughts together. But beyond the fear, we still don't want to face that we have a dark side, that it's natural to have a dark side, and that Cuddles and Moonlight kind of playing. Okay, and so this is something that what I have found is something that we can't shove aside. At some point we have to deal with this, and we have to work our way through it. And by not being willing to own that you have a dark side, you're in resistance to what is. You're in resistance to life. I think any of us can see, if we could just wipe the slate clean of all previous programming and just have a good dispassionate look, it's easy enough to see that all humans have some negative tendencies, and we say some things that maybe later we wish we didn't, or maybe we don't, you know. People do bad things. Oh, it's really, I like to watch, I think his name is Bill Donahue, and I'll give you a link to his channel. Actually, I think I'll also give you a link to the video of his that I watched today. Oh, it's funny. Let me see if I can get the title of it. It's on Devils, Demons, and Dummies. It's adorable. And he'll read to you where he actually found it in the good book, in the Bible, where God created evil. I mean, in Isaiah, Isaiah speaking for the Lord said, indeed, God created evil. And so it's just live spelled backwards, It's just the opposite polarity. It's a part of the Tai Chi. You can't get a good spin going if you don't have both the yin and the yang. It's mandated. It's not mandated. It's not being imposed on you. It's just the way things are. It's just how it's all put together. If you had only light and no shadow, you could see literally nothing. Nothing would be visible. Just the same as if it was only dark and no light. Nothing would be visible. They're complementary to each other in ways that I don't claim to understand. But you can see a thing and you can admit to it and deal with it without a full understanding. I mean, heart will guide you. It just does. And we have a tremendous store of wisdom, but it's tucked away within. And we have to get in there in order to link up with it. If nothing else, Bill Donahue is very humorous. And he's an enjoyable watch. Most of his videos are about an hour long. The other one I'm giving you, though, I think is 9 minutes, 54 seconds. And so I didn't plan to do this, but that's neat. Between these two, if you'll watch and listen from in heart, get out of your mind, just take a minute, just take 60 seconds before you push play to center. And just put your attention in your middle there, in the middle of your chest. And then watch. You'll be given interior guidance and understanding that's suitable for you. Different things that come up, if they bother you, that's your own personal stuff. It's not Bill's fault, and it's not Dimitri's fault, Anything that we find that's wrong with the world is not wrong with the world, my friends. It's wrong within us. That's life's way of showing us something that's out of sync, out of whack, inside of us. So by keeping the focus on self and on now, we'll catch these things. We'll see them. We'll be taught from within. We'll get to know the self better at a minimum. Only it's much better than that. When we disconnect from being driven, owned, and managed by the mind, we step into peace. We can relax. We can let go. And maybe even find some joy in life, huh? Now, I don't know that I really have anything to offer. I mean, beyond what I've shared here and the offerings of these two wonderful people for you. Our dark side is very much personal to us. It's our own. And it hasn't just been built up and developed over this lifetime. A lot of it we bring with us as a momentum, as a habit pattern. There are people who suicide, and it's a habit, and lifetime after lifetime, when you catch them in the between lives state, as some hypnotherapists do, like Michael Newton, you can find people that's their answer to things, is just to check out. And it gets to be a habit. And so how's that for a habit to break? I mean, beyond just smoking or drinking or something. So it's uniquely our own. But so is heart. And the perfect, totally unique guidance is there for us. These things come up and they are a blessing. Oh, how I wish I could give everybody that understanding. Everything that happens, everything that comes to mind, every little thing is for blessing. And if it's not an overt, obvious blessing, well, then you have to unwrap it, you know, take the wrapping paper off that makes it look kind of unpleasant or whatever it is. And if you just know that there's a blessing hidden in there for you, you're far more likely to find it than if you have a negative attitude toward things. So I think balance is the biggest, best thing we can go for. You're not going to eradicate your dark side, nor are you meant to. Okay? If we can find a point of poise and balance in the middle, our highs won't be as high and our lows won't be as low, and we'll be more integrated, more balanced, you know? I can't imagine what the Creator means by creating. I don't think she or he, it actually creates evil. I think we're given power, and it's the ways that we use it while we're exploring things that wind up creating the darkness and the evil. So I think the Creator is more removed from the little day-to-day creations. I think an awful lot of creation is actually kind of delegated by Source to the very highest beings, closest to the heart of Source. And then there's further delegation by those beings to the next level, and so on, and so on, and so on. I mean, you and I are creators of our own life, at least. But if we don't know this, we can go through, I don't know, maybe an infinite number of lifetimes without seeing it. We've got to be willing to explore new ideas, radical ideas sometimes. Why not? You lose the fear when you accept your own divinity, and you're going to find yourself just naturally spreading your wings out more as you do this. You don't have to do it. It will do you. It will just happen through you. That's when I started to offer my comments more on other people's videos and to speak up and different things. And as I watched myself doing it, and I was looking at, gee, this is different, you know? I haven't been this way before, and as I was looking into that, I saw it was because the fear was gone. Before then, you couldn't have convinced me. I don't think you could have convinced me that it was fear keeping my mouth shut. I didn't see it that way. But again, don't trust mind. It's a nice tool, but not something to trust. Nor is anyone else. You know, we're getting to the point, I firmly believe that going up into the 5th dimension or 6th or wherever it is we're headed, and I don't think we're all going to go in a very linear manner up one dimension. I don't think it's like that. Lost my train of thought. Oh, as we rise in dimensions, it's very much a part of, and I really lost this train of thought. Oh well, sorry folks. I don't mean to be like that, but as you can see, it's very real. Oh, and you know what it's showing me? Maybe if I lost my train of thought, it's because I'm in mind, but I don't know. Have you ever had brain fog? I had my first experience with it in the last week, and I don't think it's because I was in mind that I couldn't put two coherent thoughts together very well. Couldn't remember things, so I just gotta say, I don't know. If I think of it, I'll come back and tack it on to the end of this. Rising into higher dimensions, though, a big part of that is when we're in balance. It's a natural thing, and balance is native to the higher dimensions. So let's be about it. Let's go for not all light or all dark, but a perfect Tai Chi, the balance of both. Good day, or good evening, wherever you are. Helping us master the fears. So if we don't fear it, there's a good number of us that have lost the better part of our fear, but we don't want to be told that we have a dark side. The dark is made to be something out there, and we've got to be perfect and pure and lily white, and that's the only way we're making it into heaven. Now, look at all of that and see the programming that's in it. See the manipulation blown way out of proportion. And so, by accepting our own native divinity, eventually all your fear will go if you'll just accept that one belief that you are divine, that you are an emanation of source. I love the way Nancy Dennison calls us a source beam. You know, you're a beam of light sent from the heart of source or God. So that goes a long way toward helping. Hi. Those of you who subscribe to Dimitri Halley will perhaps already have watched this video, but I'm going to give you a link to his latest, which is Touching the Shadow, an illustration. He does a lot in 10 minutes of this, and so the darkness becomes a challenge. I mean, the first thing is we tend to fear it. Well, we've been taught to. You know, we've been taught that it's overpowering and we're small and, you know, inconsequential. And the devil's a big bad guy, you know, and has hordes of demons, and, you know, it's been made into something. I think this might be one of the most challenging topics for the light beings, considering the kind of programming and how much of it we've received concerning what's dark or bad or evil and how to behave, and all of the little boxes that we've been put in and padlocked up tight into. A lot of us haven't yet worked our way out of most